It is October 18th, 2022. It's Tuesday. That's it. It's just Tuesday. It's cold out. It's cold. There's a cold snap. There's a cold push all throughout the United States. And here in Illinois, central Illinois, it is, I don't know, it was like 33 degrees when I looked. But I still have the flip-flops and the shorts on. I do have the little pullover, whatever you call it, a little zip up. Stay warm, because need to stay warm. That's one of the things I've been thinking about, because our bills here, the electric bill, it's up probably 50% easy from last year. You know, at this time, it started in June, July bill, and it's about 50% higher. I mean, no additional usage. I mean, just the same, you know, just 50%. 50%! Ugh. Wages aren't going up 50%. Oh, well, it's levels out with inflation. So really, it's only 8%, right? According to the numbers, 8.1, 8.2, whatever. It's more than that, though, and we all know that. I mean, geez, you go to the store. My wife brought home a bag of, I don't know, these freaking corn kernels that are made locally. And they used to come in this big bag. And I said, that bag is small. It's like 10.5 ounces. And I'm just like, what the frick? You know, and it's the same price as the old one. It's more. I mean, I can't believe this is the price of these chips. I know it's Frito-Lay. They were talking about PepsiCo. I don't know which one it is anymore. Talking about how much they've raised prices over the last year, like 17% or something. Something ridiculous. But yeah, if you do, and I don't drink soda anymore. I will occasionally. I might use it as a mixer and a drink. And I always get the cane sugar soda because I don't want high fructose corn syrup. But you're looking at, I mean, I remember all day long you can get them for $2.99 a 12-pack, and then all of a sudden it just kind of, and then you still have sales. You can get it for $3 for a 12-pack. Now, I mean, it's on sale. It's like $4.50, $5 on sale for a 12-pack, and it's just amazing. I can't imagine, you know, drinking soda all day long. How expensive it is, but it's like everything else. It's just gone up in price. And obviously, I'm in the DigiByte 2 with the bad mount. It's just not sturdy, and this phone is kind of thick. It's got a big case on it, so it fell off. Quit hitting the bumps. All right, just rambling about inflation a little bit, but we all know it's here. We all know we're getting hit by it. There's not a lot we can do. They keep saying, oh, it might have peaked. It might be rolling over. What happened there with the Inflation Reduction Act? Did that help? Doesn't look like it. So, I don't know. You've got a few weeks until the midterm elections, and I think it's just a matter of, all right, hold the line. Let's not let things get too bad. Let's keep the gas price down as much as we can, release strategic oil reserves, and after that, whatever, who cares? But there's a major energy crunch, and it's not that there's a lack of energy, it's the fact that they're not getting the energy to market. I look at what happened in Japan. They just announced, I was watching some documentary in Japan in my mind, Japanese pro wrestling. Anyway, there was the Chinese, what they've been doing, they've been buying natural gas from Russia, and they've been reselling it to Europe. Well, they said they're going to stop doing that. Well, it's because it's getting colder, and they're not going to have any excess supply, so they're not going to do that anymore. So you've got the Nord Stream pipeline that was blown up. You've got a Turkish pipeline coming out of Russia that was attempted to be blown up. And you've got China no longer saying that they're going to take that natural gas to avoid sanctions, basically, and sell that back to Europe. So what's Europe going to do? How bad is that going to get? How many businesses are going to shut down because they can't heat it anymore this winter? I mean, you talk about hit the wrong button. First world problems. You know, I hit the wrong automatic window roller downer, and I don't know if that motor's working too well on that one. Yeah, it'll be about December and snowing out, and that window won't roll up, so I better be careful, or at least have the motor on hand. Yeah, get everything you need on hand that you might think you need, because you might not be able to get it. Absolutely insane. I've been saying that for a while. Been saying that since I put that pavilion up. You know, if you can't afford it, even though the price of lumber's high, you might want to get it now or else it might be too late later. So if I've got any message in this video today that's rambling, and it's now off center because the phone fell, it's that, get the stuff you need. Get it now. No better time than now to get it, because if you can't get it, it ain't worth it. Speaking of that, I was watching a good series on Netflix called Rotten. And essentially what it does, it kind of goes in and looks at different industries and the effects that those industries have on, I don't want to say the earth, but I mean, maybe localized populations. And one in particular was bottled water. When did this come a thing? When I first saw that, I laughed. When people putting water in bottles, I mean, this has been a few decades ago. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're going to pay for water, and you think about how much you pay for water and then don't complain about how much gasoline costs. Because you can get a gallon of gasoline for, let's say, $5. You go out and buy a little 16.9 ounce bottle of water and you're paying $2 for it. Does that make sense? When there's water everywhere? But what has happened is there's plenty of water to go around. Let's just say that. The earth, it's a closed atmosphere, ecosystem. It's like those little globes, biosphere globes you can buy. They get the little brine shrimp floating around, sea monkeys almost. And they're swimming around, and it's completely contained. It's its own ecosystem, and it's got everything it needs in there to rejuvenate. And, anyway, that's what Earth is. The water's always here. It does not leave the planet. It just gets transferred into another form. Just like us when we die, our energy gets transferred into another form. Everything gets rejuvenated. So there's plenty of water for everybody. I mean, look at the oceans. Fresh water, easier to get to. Salt water, it takes some work. All right, whatever. But there's plenty of water. The problem that you have, though, is when, let's say, a big industry comes in and sucks up all the water in one location and then ships it all around the world. So that location now has no water. So if somebody had come in, a big corporation, and they, come into a small town, they drain the reservoir. It doesn't have time to replenish itself over time. So they drain the reservoir. That place has a water problem. You go out west, and what happens? They dam up all these areas, and they've got these lakes that they create, the runoff from the mountains to supply that high population area, and they pipe it all over the place. Okay. And then they're talking about, there's a water shortage. Well, first of all, there wasn't enough water for you to survive there, and you had to move the water to a place where you want to live. But that water in that area, there's so much to go around because of seasonality, and how much rain you get, how much snowfall that you get. Now, overall, there's plenty of water. There's plenty of water all around the United States, plenty of water around the world. It's just, where is it? How hard is it to get? And then when somebody comes in and says, ooh, this is easy water to get, I'm going to take it all. And then I'm going to take it somewhere else. That's when you run into problems, and that's when you get water shortages. But as far as this idea, this thing is jacked. As far as this idea that there's only, we're going to run out of water, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's not going to happen. But anyway, this show, Rotten, it's pretty good. And they go into that, where there's companies that come in and they essentially take all the water, and then the local people, they can't, they don't get any of that water. And it's just, I don't know, it's interesting to see what we've done and how it used to be we'd move to areas because they had resources. And now we don't need to do that anymore. We can just bring the resources to us. But that comes at an expense. There's a cost to doing all that. There's operational costs. There's infrastructure costs. And then what happens if it fails? Then you got a major problem. And it's just another dependency that we've created. And unfortunately, that's kind of the society that we've built. Dependencies, if one thing breaks, it has a ripple effect. And I don't know that everybody realizes that so much. And you got to take that into account in, how you plan things. And we're starting to see that, though. We're starting to see breakdowns in supply chains. We're starting to see things not working that always used to work. I mean, there's a big project in our local town here to where they're redoing all the sewer lines, putting all new ones in because they're old. I mean, all that has to be rebuilt. I mean, you think about all the infrastructure under a city like Chicago or New York, Los Angeles, and everything, how it ages and how it gets old, and pipe broke. And it's just the infrastructure that's needed to support all that population in that area. I mean, it's a big task. And you wonder why things cost so much. And you wonder why there's corruption. And because you got so many people that are vying for that pot of money. And it centralizes things. And anytime you centralize it, it just gets more apt to be corrupt. The money's in one spot, it's a honeypot, why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money's at. It's that thinking. It's probably a good thing to start thinking decentralized, just because, and I know it takes more of a burden on the individual, but maybe, start looking at smaller communities, start looking at ways to find like-minded people and maybe start something. And you hear the Citadel talk, oh, it's like being a citadel. That's one thing, where you have little kingdoms when Mad Max scenario falls or happens. But, that's not necessarily, do you want to be in that kind of situation? No, it'd be nice to be around just a network of people that are doing well, people that aren't enslaving themselves in debt, people that can produce, people that are independent, that have tools, have things. It's just, if you've got an opportunity to be around those types of people, I think life is better. That's just my opinion. I could not see myself, I've done it, I've lived in the city. I could not see myself wanting to stay there though, with a family, especially a single person. You got nothing to lose except you, whatever, you take more risks. But living in a city is a risk. You're so dependent upon things showing up. If there's a shortage of something, you don't get it. And where are you going to get it? You're in the city. And I think of the people that have never left the city, that have known that their whole lives, because everything's there, that they need. And as long as it's continually brought in from the outside, they've never known anything different. And it's always worked for them. Everything works until it doesn't work. And that's just kind of how it is. It works until it doesn't. And at some point, it doesn't work for you. And underpinning all of it is a situation where you've got money that is unsound, that is debt-based, that at any moment can be manipulated or destroyed. And it's just very important to understand that, that underpins everything that's been built, every piece of infrastructure, everything that we have is based on that monetary system. And if it fails, everything else kind of fails too. So, that's why I constantly, I preach why it's so important, why sound money is so important, because it works outside of a government failure. It works no matter where you're at. It has value that's recognizable, and it can be used. And that's why I talk about silver. That's why I talk about gold. I think gold's overvalued compared to silver, but, gold's gold. It's always been, the wealthy have held it. Silver, it's always been money. That's why I preach Litecoin. And a lot of people are, it's a dog, I hate Litecoin. It's like, yeah, when you're looking at the dollar price, it's frustrating at times, but it is something that works. The network has always worked for over 11 years, nonstop, uninterrupted. Nothing can stop it. No bank, no government. And so that is an important thing, especially with privacy, with Mimble-Wimble built into it. Nobody knows how much you're sending around. So, and where it came from. Those are important things. And so going forward, just realize kind of the fragility of the whole system and what it's built on. It's really built on the unsound monetary system and dependent upon that. I mean, your sewer workers don't show up if they're not getting paid or if their money gets devalued overnight. Your police officers, your firefighters, I mean, yeah, they're heroic at times, but it's, you know, you got to eat. You got to take care of your family. You might do it for a little bit, but then you realize, you know, I can't do this anymore. It's unsustainable. This money, I'm getting destroyed by this money. It's inflationary, or you just don't get it. And you realize your pension's gone. You're not going to stick around. You know, so many teachers, they stay in the game, and I say that because, you know, I'm still certified to teach. I just don't teach in the classroom. So many teachers stick around because, oh, I want to get my pension, and they're bitter, and, you know, it's just, and they just keep doing it. And, you know, you see it in all fields, though. It's like, oh, I just want to get my pension. I saw it at, you know, a big corporation I used to work for. I've just got this many years and days before I'm done and I get my retirement. Well, that's based in dollars, folks. And that might not be there at some point. So start thinking accordingly and having at least some insurance policies in place. And to me, you know, crypto, Litecoin, the good cryptos are insurance policies. When things collapse, you're going to need something that works. And there's nothing that's worked better in this digital world than Litecoin. So, and maybe a few silver coins in your pocket too. All right, that's all I got today. Just kind of a little bit of a rambling session, but I hope you all have a happy Tuesday. Trust yourselves, trust your instincts. This is a time when you're going to see so many different ideas coming at you, so many different influences. People just want to control your ideas and your mind. They want your energy. They want your attention. Disconnect from that. Find a happy place. Be calm, whatever it is. Go barefooted and your feet will freeze to the ground around here right now, but that's okay. Get rooted to the earth. Get grounded. You know, get into that other state of mind to where you can look inside because you've got the answers inside. And trust yourself. Know that you have the answers. Believe in yourself and take action accordingly. All right. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Thanks for spending the morning. You know, it's taking your time to do this. Hit the thumbs up if there's anything you got from this, and subscribe. You know, hit that notification bell. Hopefully something has clicked. That's my goal here. All right. Love you all. Have a happy Tuesday, and always trust yourself.